translated into Marathi. And I think the aim is to someday be able to translate it in a few other Indian languages as well.
No, I think that's a great story. I think that deserves a round of applause.
I think the round of applause is for the secretary because
No, but I think
he was the key guy.
it shows a couple of things to me. One is, if you want to reach out to somebody in your field, I would personally think twice or thrice or give it up and, not even do it. But seeing your example, in a field like language, it's just not like a mainstream line, but to get through to somebody and then that person, recognizing the value. I think it's a great story. It's a great story. Again, more on your personal interests. Also, notice that you're into running and that you're selected to run for some Indian Masters, so you represent India in something. So that's a different side. So maybe you can talk a little bit about that. And also, I want to know if being a sportsman somehow helps you in dealing with the ups and downs that you face in business.
Okay, I think I'll take the second question first because that's something that really surprised me when I was reading an article about a few sportsmen, and I realized that I always thought that the typical sportsmen would be cricket players and basketball players, and they are the ones who would normally go to the gym. But I found two people who actually I never thought would see the inside of a gym ever in their life or any form of physical activity. One is of course the Grandmaster Anand, and the other is a friend of mine, Sanjeev Abhyankar, and he quite regularly exercises on Deccan Gymkhana.
Sanjeev Abhyankar is the classical singer.
Yeah. So, and I of course don't know the other guy, but I know him, so I asked him, why on earth would you want to come here and walk here and all this, and what good does he do to you? So I think that's what pretty much Anand said in the interview, and what he said, a healthy mind would be a healthy body, and that's the only way you can really function well. So I guess that goes hand in hand. So probably this is something that again has been a part of my DNA, so to say. We've always played some kind of a sport ever since we were kids, and I think that just continued. I think there was just a phase probably when I was starting out in business when I really couldn't, but those were just a couple of years, 2 or 3 years at the most, when I was away from that. Running was pretty much by accident, so to say, in the sense I'm not the typical marathon runner. I mean, I've also ran a couple of marathons, though I don't think one should call them marathons because marathons are essentially the full distance. Now people have started marketing everything, so even marathons are marketed. So you have a half marathon and a mini marathon. 10 kilometers is hardly any distance. Most of you can run it. The question is in how much time, but you still can manage it. 42, not all of you can. And that's, I think, really something. One of my friends here, Mr. Lime, he's already a full marathon runner. Now we have to say full marathon because there's even a half marathon. But running happened by chance. There was this friend of mine who used to run marathons, and he was always nagging me, run with me, run with me. And I used to, what's the point? You just go round and round. And I don't see the point. So there's no fun, there's no competition there. And having played something like basketball when I was in school and college, you're used to a lot more competitive stuff. So he said, just run with me, what's your problem? So finally I gave up. I ran a couple of kilometers or 2 or 3 kilometers. And somehow I just wanted to do it one more time when I came back. This was in Bangalore. And then I kept running, and one day I just thought, let's see how difficult it is to run 5. And then I managed 5. And that's the 5 thing is kind of something that, okay, 2 is nothing, 3 is nothing. If you run 5, then you feel you have done something. I said, why not 6? Then why not 7? And then finally I ran 10. And then I called him up and told him, see, I ran 10 kilometers in 54 minutes. And he said, you're bluffing, it's not possible. I said, no, honestly, I ran 10 kilometers in 54 minutes. He said, maybe there was some mistake. So I thought, maybe there was some mistake. 2 Sundays later, I ran again. And this time I was very sure that I ran it in 53 minutes, some seconds. So I told him I ran this in 53 seconds. 53 minutes and some seconds. He said, really? I said, absolutely. He said, I think you should really take this a little more seriously because an average guy would still struggle to complete it within 1 hour. I said, okay. So that's how I ended up training with a coach on Deccan Gymkhana. And then I ran in the nationals. I stood 4th actually, so I wasn't really the very obvious choice in the team. I think the top 2 or 3 guys are usually the ones who represent India in the tournament, but they finally didn't end up going. The 1st and 3rd didn't end up going, so that's how I was pushed up. I stood 4th there. I finally managed to complete that in 45 minutes and some seconds, so I could reduce close to 7-8 minutes. Now I'm coming out of an injury, so I'm not running anymore, but I guess by next year I should be good to go again.
That's great. I think that's a different side that a successful businessman need not be just focused on work, but you also get time for other activities, and sort of leads into the next thing which a lot of people are concerned about, talk about even in businesses and companies, is the work-life balance. So what is your take on that? I mean, you seem to be getting time to do your personal likes and things as well. So.
Yeah, I think I am doing a lot of things, and strange things. Incidentally, I forgot to mention that I hold the dubious distinction of having failed a drawing exam in school as well. And I think somewhere all of this comes back when you grow up and you just want to prove to yourself that you're worth something beyond a certain field. So, okay, languages I can manage, I'm fairly good at that. But there's this, so to say, kida, and you say in Marathi, to do something. So I continue to learn the guitar, attend those odd painting classes or whatever, and I'm still miserable at most things barring this. But yeah, the one thing that I have really stuck to is I've probably always done something beyond work, and that really has to do a lot to do with how I think, and more than anything else. I really pity people who leave the house at 9 and come back at 9. No offense meant to whoever is doing that. I can't live like that in a sense, and which is what drives me to do all of that more than anything. And honestly, that does rub off. So if it's a very different experience to run in the morning or play some kind of a sport, really sweat it out, and then go and work. Contrary to what people feel, it doesn't make you tired. It actually, at least it makes me fresher. So I guess that's something that comes from a basic thought where I guess most people who have grown up in Pune would probably identify this with this. I belong to a very special generation. I was born in 1971. I call this the golden year to be born in. Not because I was born, but simply because it gave me the best of both worlds. So I can still identify with a 19-year-old kid or even 19-year-old girl smoking with a mini skirt. I'm not scandalized by that. My parents would be, I'm not. And I can still see why they are scandalized. So I guess being born in that day and age, we were really used to pretty mediocre things. As Indians, we were in any case used to mediocre things post pre-91, because there was nothing coming into the country. So life was very simplistic. And even today, when I think of it, it's not a very money-oriented approach, which is probably why I think I've been able to keep that side alive. So the constant thought is how much money do you need to be happy, and what do you do with all the money. So although I don't behave like that between 9 and 5, but after 5, I think that's pretty much how I think.
It's interesting in terms of a mindset between somebody who is working, and like you said, there's nothing wrong with that, but on the other hand, there are a lot of people who like to do something on their own, and hopefully some of the things he's talking about gives, let's say, the impetus. So let's lead into that, what advice would you give to somebody who is thinking about doing something but is not sure? Maybe the job gives some sense of security or something. So what advice would you give to would-be entrepreneurs? And also, as a follow-up question,